ready for the Patriots' initial roster, Keith?
Oh, of course I'm ready for the initial roster, Jones. I've never been more ready for anything in my life.
We will get to any comings and goings.
By the way.
Oh, well, I was going to say.
Welcome back. Are you ready? It's been a long time.
I think I'm ready to apologize, Keith. Should I start with an apology?
That'd be great. To me?
Well, to you specifically, yes.
Yeah.
The audience has probably been fine with my absence.
They've enjoyed it.
No, you know what I missed yesterday, Keith?
What's that?
I missed our anniversary.
Yes.
You know
our
what?
1 year anniversary. Did you get me anything?
I must have misplaced it on the calendar.
I was looking for cake down the hallway, never saw a cake. Looking for a pizza party, never saw a pizza party.
I forgot the days.
Yeah. Oh, Nick, come on.
I forgot the days.
Yeah, you mixed them up.
I'm going to make it up to you.
You mixed them up.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's just a day. It's just a day on the calendar.
I was waiting for even a simple phone call or a text. Didn't even receive that.
Keith was sitting here yesterday after the show with just a table set for two. Candles lit.
Big thing of pasta.
Just
one
waiting.
bowl of pasta. There's one giant bowl of pasta.
Just
like,
you got a Lady in the Tramp?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a cold bowl of pasta.
He'll be here. He always shows. He'll be here. I know. I just know it.
The overnight guy walked by, said, "Sir, are you
You know,
sure that he's still coming?"
I'm sorry. I had to work late. Well, actually, not at all. I had to run to the store and get some cigarettes.
I know you did.
I had to run to the store and get some cigarettes. What do you want from me?
It was sad. It was a sad day. It was a bad day.
And I missed our one, the Jones and Keefe. Many said, including us.
Yeah.
Many said we may never get there, Keefe.
Fingers crossed on the 1 year. We hit the 1 year.
Looks like we made it.
And thank you to all the listeners for pushing us there, for pushing us to be so great. We thank you, each and every one of you.
Now we just have to get to March Madness because
we have a sick bracket actually scheduled for March Madness. So just please give us 7 more months.
Let me tell you, Ken and Mike, if you're listening, we have such a good bracket, such a good March Madness bracket.
You got to at least keep us
just let us get there.
I know, fingers crossed.
But congrats on the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, same to you.
Nick, you as well. Turp. Billy up at Lake Winnipesaukee.
Oh, he's probably at Fun Spot right now.
Definitely
killing it.
Definitely not listening.
No,
enjoying his vacation.
Yes.
I texted him this morning. He just gave me a thumbs up, so I think he's off the grid.
Nice. But no, it's good to be back.
Yeah,
good to be back. And I apologize again, Keith, for missing the big day.
Hey, hopefully next year you can make it up to me.
I'm gonna make it up to you, assuming we ever get there.
That's right.
You heard Curran yesterday with Keith and Bradfo discussing Kayshon Boutte, one of the 8 receivers the Patriots are keeping on the roster for the time being. It's actually 9 if you count Jalen Polk.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't count Jalen Polk, but I understand your point.
But to make the number even more ridiculous, there's 9 receivers that are on this roster, on this team. Polk's not going to play this year. He's not designated to return. I think Kendrick Bourne is going to start on PUP, right? Is that where he's supposed to start?
Yeah.
So he's not going to be there week 1 either. But 8, 9, 7 active receivers. I'm sure more pieces are going to move around. Kyle Duggar still here. They wound up having a kicking competition that made me scratch my head.
Quote unquote
with who they went with,
competition.
quote unquote competition. Your guy Cole Strange gone, Keith.
My guy.
So your thoughts on the initial 53-man roster?
Definitely surprised by the receivers because we've been talking about that position group a lot. You know, going into camp, maybe one of the worst on the team, one of the worst in the league, but still, but with a positive outlook depending on if Steph Diggs could go, and he could right off the rip. You're like, all right, he's healthy, so that elevated it from at least better than the team's O-line. You're like, all right, that's a good place to start. Now where can they go from here? And we were going back and forth on who's going to take that last spot because it seemed like there were some locks, right? There were the obvious locks. Probably went about 5 deep. 2 free agents, your rookie in the 3rd round, Kyle Williams, and then the 2 really most productive guys overall were Douglas and Boutte. So there's 5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
And remember,
I thought maybe you only take 5. I thought that might be it.
And remember, at the beginning of the offseason, I didn't think Boutte was going to be on the team. He clearly played his way on in camp.
Yep, he was good.
Then the preseason game started, and you're like, well, Efton Chisholm's got to be on the team. So that number kept going up.
And then you're like, Kendrick Bourne, I like when he's out there, but if he can't be out there, then all right, he might be gone. And I'm like, Javon Baker, he actually, I give him credit. Like, he was working in on special teams and everything else. And so maybe that's part of how he made the roster, right? You're still going to have a kick cover. You're still going to have punt return. You have all that stuff. So if he's a part of special teams, but he's still under the wide receiver umbrella, I guess that sort of grows that number. But if you had told me ahead of time that the initial 53-man roster would have Chisholm, Baker, and Bourne on it, like that's pretty wild to me.
I wasn't projecting Kendrick Bourne to make this team.
No, and then I guess...
And I still don't think Baker's going to be on the 53-man roster once a week. I think they're...
Well, see, that's just it.
I think they're playing games. Mm-hmm. They're going to claim somebody on waivers. They're going to drop Javon Baker. They're going to try to sneak him through to the practice squad, which teams do. Like, after the initial wave of roster moves, if you wait a couple of days, teams declare who they want to keep. Teams, make decisions on who they're keeping and who's going. After the initial round of waiver claims, I'd imagine they're trying to sneak him through to the practice squad. Just my guess. Him or Chisholm, but I think that's what they're trying to do.
But it's one of those things, too, where I think we overrated, and I'll throw myself in there, both Chisholm and Baker. Like, they can have a good camp, but they're having a good camp as maybe the sixth receiver on the Patriots.
Yeah.
Like, you see guys like Hunter Renfrow, and I know he's, like, gone down, but a guy who was a Pro Bowler a few years ago, he gets cut. Like, look at some of the other cuts around the league. Not that it was riddled with star-studded guys, but they are on more competitive rooms and more talented rooms than the Patriots. So, I don't know, maybe that's what they're doing, because there's no way you're going to go into a game day with 8 of your 53 guys playing wide receiver. Plus, this Josh McDaniels offense, there's going to be so many snaps where only 2 of them are on the field.
It's true.
So this isn't even like, hey, this is like an old Mike Leach offense where you have all 5 on the field at the same time. Like, no, you only really need 2 or 3. Like, how many are going to get like more than 10 snaps in a game? 4?
Yeah, 4 would be
at
my
best.
guess. Yeah.
And even even the fourth guy might be Kyle Williams getting like 10.
Yeah,
if that.
Early, I bet it's...
Yeah, maybe he doesn't even play. Maybe he's inactive.
Early, I bet the 3 who get reps, and I want to get to Steph Diggs in a moment, but I bet it's Diggs and Booty and Douglas and Hollins.
Yeah, so 4.
And so then maybe Kyle Williams starts to mix in, and it's 5, but... Yeah, I mean, that would be my feeling.
It's a big number. I was looking. So their week 1 opponent, the Raiders, they kept 5 out of camp. Right, Jacoby Myers, who may or may not still want to be traded, Amari Cooper, who they just signed, and then 3 other guys. Like, that's, I think a lot of teams kind of go with 5. And if you have any more than 5, it's got to be like core special team type guys. And you're like, well, maybe they can, like, Chisholm can like return a punt. Like, you got a punt returner. Like, you don't really need that.
No, depth punt returner. So
that was one of the surprises, but there was a few others.
Well, and I do think the general takeaway from the roster building in the initial 53 is they were going to keep their bet. They're not in a spot where they can cut good players. Duggar is at the front end of that line. I think Anthony Jennings is there as well. They weren't going to cut guys who can play, even Kendrick Bourne. Like, if you're an NFL player, and those guys are all NFL players, you hope Javon Baker is an NFL player. You hope Efton Chisholm is. You hope, the pass rusher that they kept over Braden Swinson, Ponder. You hope those guys are NFL players. Those are developmental guys. Bourne, NFL player. Duggar, NFL player. Jennings, NFL player. And they're not in the business, roster-wise, where they can cut good players, even if they're not a perfect scheme fit, even if they make too much money. You're not the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Lions. I know they had a down year last year, the 49ers. You're not one of those rosters. You need to keep all the quality players you can, and I think that's one of the things that maybe I got caught up in some of the news with guys getting demoted on the roster and playing deep into the preseason. They weren't going to cut quality NFL players.
Yeah, I just thought, I don't know if they really did themselves any favors with playing Kyle Duggar in that last preseason game. I still find that a little bit odd because on the one, you're showcasing him. It's like, no, you're not. You're putting him out there against all guys who are going to be cut. Like, the guys that he's playing with, the guys he's playing against are going to be cut. So it's not really showcasing him. It's more telling the league that we don't really want him. But I think it did come back down to, we're not loaded with talent. So even if he's not a starter, as soon as a starter goes down, who are you replacing him with? Del Pettis? Or you're bringing, hey, Brandon Schooler, you got to learn defense now? Although if they do that Longhorn package, didn't he have like 2 sacks last year?
Ooh, Longhorn. I mean,
kind of like that.
It was Caleb Williams. Everybody drags him down for a
do like that. But no, Kyle Duggar was in that spot where you and I both agree, never the biggest fan of Kyle Duggar. But then you look at this roster, it's not great. And then all the talk was, they might just cut him or trade him for a bag of balls. You're like, why? You don't need to save money. Like, you don't need to do that. You have all the money in the world to spend.
As long as he's not a problem in the locker room.
And it doesn't seem like he is at all.
I agree. It does not seem like he is. So as long as he's not a problem in the locker room, you're paying him either way. You're not in the spot. In terms of a rebuild or in terms of turning it around from last year, you're not in a spot where you can cut quality players.
If you're the 2014 Patriots and you're like, we're cutting Duggar, like, fine.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even bat an eye at it.
Bill did that once a camp.
He would, teams that are winning, on their way to winning a Super Bowl, he's like, Jamie Collins, see you later. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
And you're like, you don't need him.
He'll trade Mankins, he'll release Malloy, Jamie Collins is a good
Seymour.
one. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, when you're at that spot, it's a little different than where the Patriots
the roster
are at
is
now.
not there.
And I think that's one of the takeaways. I mean, that's an acknowledgement. Their roster kind of stinks.
Yeah.
So you can weigh in, 617-779-7937. That is the phone number and the text line, Keefe. Already a popular message on the text line.
Congrats. A lot of congrats.
Well, a lot of congrats.
Yeah.
People are surprised we didn't break out the glitter guns. We have
good point.
a number of texts about the lack of glitter guns, which they're done. If you want me to get them.
No. You don't want to do that. We got to figure out a reason to use them, though. There's got to be something.
Oh,
you got an idea?
I have enough for maybe 5 or 6 reasons. When I heard Party City was closing down, I went and stocked up on glitter guns.
See what it is now?
Good call.
Halloween store?
Spirit Halloween.
I did see that.
Spirit Halloween.
Oh, I think they have a Dustin May costume.
I'm hoping.
Oh man, those are probably on sale right now. Maybe not after the last start.
Go in there after the show. Do you guys have 5 Dustin May outfits?
Yeah.
They're like, we don't have any Dustin
At
May outfits.
various points of his life, do you have a bunch of different
Like
Dustin
little
May
baby
outfits?
Dustin May, somebody could go as old man Dustin May.
Old man.
God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can weigh in there, phones and text line. Interact on Twitter and Instagram at Jones and Keefe. You can watch along and chat. Twitch.tv/Boston WEEI. Always a healthy chat going on Twitch. And do the same on YouTube. Just subscribe to WEEI. I think the number's not going to be 8, or if you count Polk, 9 come week 1, Keefe. But the fact they're keeping so many wide receivers, and we already said they're not trying to move on from quality NFL players, so that could be the answer. The other answer is they need some depth because Diggs hasn't stood out in a way you would expect so far this preseason. Do you think that number is a reflection in any way on Steph Diggs?
No, I don't. I mean, I think they went in with a plan with Steph Diggs, so I'm not as alarmed about him not playing in the preseason games. And he's probably further along than maybe they even thought. Like when they signed him, I remember we're all saying like, oh, if he could play like 15, 14, 13 games, he'll be in good shape. Or even if you have to put him on the PUP list. So I think he's so far ahead of that I think that they're feeling pretty confident in him overall. And then they got to feel even better about the other 2 guys that are right behind him. I think both Pop Douglas and Kayshon Boutte are better fallback plans, right? Because I think even if they had doubts, right? Like, I don't know if they do, but even if they did on Steph Diggs, you're not really replacing him with Javon Baker anyway, or you're not even replacing him with Efton Chisholm. I think those next guys, that next wave up would get sort of pushed up the depth chart regardless. So, no, I think it might be the first thing you said is they're just in their heads thinking, well, there's been a lot of positive pub on Chisholm. We can't afford to lose him. Or like, hey, Baker was just a 4th-round pick. He showed some flashes. We don't want some team to snipe him too. So we're just going to hang on to all these guys for right now and hope that the couple are on the practice squad for sort of overall depth. And that's Diggs included, but that's everybody. Like, how many games is Pop Douglas going to play? How many games is Mac Hollins going to play? So that's really for the whole group, I would think.
So I think the trend line with Diggs has gone down a little bit. As you said, it really shot up at the beginning of camp.
Right.
And since that point, it's gone down a bit. I acknowledge that can all change on a dime, though. Week 1, he goes out, he looks like Steph Diggs. All fears will be gone. And so we're getting closer and closer to getting a real answer on, what are we, a week and a half away from the opener?
Oh, yeah.
So we're getting closer and closer to getting a real answer. We've talked through this a lot. I would just say in general, and I don't think it's like a horrible sign for Diggs, the fact they're keeping so many receivers tells me on some level they're hedging the Diggs bet. Which could just mean they're going to manage the snaps early in the first month of the year. They're going to manage the snaps. We need some extra receivers, and so you know what? We do need Javon Baker around. We do need Efton Chisholm around. Not that maybe there's perfect overlap with those guys. Kyle Williams might not be ready week 1, meaning in terms of NFL development and understanding the playbook. Mm-hmm. So let's have some guys who have been here, and we need extra bodies around because we're going to manage Diggs. Stuff like that. I think if you were really bullish on Diggs and really believed in the room in general, you would be okay with moving on from Javon Baker and not worry if another team claimed him. Same thing to a lesser degree with a guy like Chisholm. So I think just in a vacuum, that's not the best sign for Diggs. I don't think it's horrible.
Yeah.
He can shut everybody up week 1 by going out with a vintage Steph Diggs performance, or at least a Houston-level Steph Diggs performance. But I would say, just looking at the roster composition, that's not bullish on Diggs.
Yeah, no, it's possible. I mean, it definitely has not. It didn't end the way that it started, and so it is very much a, we'll see what we have at Steph Diggs. I guess on the flip side of that, they kept 9 offensive linemen. So does that make you feel like they're more confident in their line than they should be? I think other teams around the league have kept way more than that, right? I think
Oh,
they're
really? More than
I
more
want
than
to say,
9?
I want to say the Raiders did keep more than that. I was just looking at them as an example, but I mean, you figure you have 5.
I thought the ideal number is usually like 8, maybe
Is it 8,
9?
9?
Yeah.
It seems like, but they have guys that interchangeable left guard, center, right tackle. No idea if he's going to play. I'm not saying you keep way more than that, but I don't know if are they like we're stuck with this group anyway, and it doesn't like the talent that we cut. We're not worried about either losing them, and we can just find a fill-in player. So, like, I do you think they like Chisholm and Baker, or do you think they're just fearful of Diggs? And then on the flip, like the same thing with like the linemen, like do they like Campbell and Moses, or they just like don't really care about Cole Strange and those guys?
No. I see your point.
Yeah.
I think they like Chisholm for sure. I'm not as sure about Baker, but I think it's more about them liking the players than protecting themselves against Diggs. I do think they go hand in hand. But you guys can react to the initial Patriots 53-man roster. Again, changes could happen. They could happen during the show today on Jones and Keefe. So you can discuss it, 617-779-7937. Football Talk on WEEI is presented by Paramount Plus. You can count on much these days, or you can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Just visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.